Hello, everybody, and welcome to G. Parker's Arcade. If I can hit the mute button on that. And Off Grid Arcade, because we're simulcasting.
We are simulcasting. We're live on my channel. I see that.
And I was checking mine while the countdown timer was going, and I saw it. So we're looking. I'll tell you what. I think we're getting smoother at this, Bart. I don't know. Let's say hello to some people. You want to say who do we got in there? We got anybody in there yet?
Yeah, we got a few people. Of course, Chaos. He was here early. Let's see. Here we go. Here's a Chaos. Says, "Sup, G." That must be you. And then this Digital Graffiti Playhouse guy, he sounds familiar. He says hey to me.
Yeah.
And then let's see. This chick, I think we know her, Kelly Huff.
Kelly Huff. Hello, Kelly.
She's in here. Alexia Fernandez. That's Lexi. She works with me at the hotel.
Very cool. Nice to. Now I want to know, is that Alexia? If she's the one that somebody put a comment on one of my videos and said, and I mentioned you in the video, and she said that somebody, I think it was her, said I know that guy. So I'm not sure if she was the one or not. But
well, last weekend Karina was watching us live. She also works with us. Her and Lexi are good friends.
Well, welcome.
VKQ's in the house.
VKQ, Interests and Adventures. Great channel. Fun to watch.
Yeah. Oh, here's Mr. Livewire just popped in. Good to see you, buddy. Always good to have you in here. Yeah, Lexi said that was probably Karina that left that message. She was here last week.
Yeah.
Lexi wasn't brave enough to watch us live last week. She waited till it was the replay because she's afraid I'd embarrass her by saying something about her or something, saying hi to her.
Well, listen, we have finished week 6.
Week 6 already.
I mean, we started, and I'm going to be honest with you, folks. I already told Bart this. I'm just going to tell the truth. I was going to tell everybody I had technical difficulties. And I did tell you when we started this tournament that it was going to start noon on Sundays, every Sunday. And I feel bad because Bart put out a teaser ahead of time saying, hey, folks, go to G. Parker's tournament. You know, so they'll start at noon. And I would not surprised if he didn't slap me and say you made a liar out of me. But we did say if there's technical difficulties. And sometimes Steam server's down. Bart, is that right? Sometimes it's down.
Sometimes. Not this particular time, but sometimes.
No. I thought it was. And I thought, well, damn it, why does it got to happen right when I'm getting ready to do this? Of course, I got on my Switch and it worked. But I don't know if Switch's servers are the same server that they use when they use Steam. I don't know. Do they share? Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. I don't know. But here's what happened. I got home this morning. I have a morning run that I have to do on Sundays, and I'm always home by noon. Set it all up, wouldn't connect the server. Well, I had an appointment in town. I had about an hour to try to fix it. And have you ever been frazzled where you're trying to get something fixed so quick that you're not thinking? Okay, well, that was me. I'm 66 years old, and I got frazzled. I'm an idiot. I guess there's no Wi-Fi on that system down there. It's all Ethernet connected, and it's all Ether connected from the router upstairs, and I'm getting all this detail and stuff. And there's a plug in the wall that plugs into, and then it runs down the wall, and it plugs in down here, and then it spurs off in all the machines. Well, the other day I was messing around behind the TV, hooking up some new electronics, and I guess I inadvertently unplugged the Ethernet cable that feeds the whole downstairs. So I had to leave to go to my appointment. I couldn't figure it out. I was mad. I was using a lot of language that I won't use here. I got done with my appointment. It was 70-some degrees. The wife and I took the Jeep out. I said, you know what? Let me clear my head. We did a little ride. I got home a little before 5 o'clock, and I just happened to walk into the living room to set something down. Actually, I bought a new fishing pole while I was out, but nobody cares about that. The fishing season's coming up. So anyway, I walked over to set it down, and I looked down at the TV, and it's clear as a bell if you know where to look. You can see that plug-in that feeds the whole downstairs. It was unplugged. I said, son of a gun.
Yeah.
Down, turned up, and I started the tournament. So my apologies. We got a 5-hour start, late start, but you have 5 hours longer on Friday when it's over. Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, I did get one complaint on my channel underneath my little promo video that said it was late, and the guy unsubbed me, but it was just style. So I don't care to lose him. It's fine. I unsubbed him 3 times this week already, so he owed me one. I still got that seaweed guy, so we're all right.
Mike Seaweed, yeah, and you still Chaos still.
I think Chaos is still subscribed to me this week. So
Chaos
we're all right.
Good. Hey, Chaos, if you're there, I did send you the link to come on the show. All you got to do is click on it. You could be here slamming Postile for his morning drive to work. He couldn't even defend himself. So anyway, enough about my crapola about my mistake. But I want to apologize to everybody, and I guess what I'm gonna have to do is before I leave town on Sunday mornings is make sure everything's up and running, then go do my appointment, and then come back. So I don't know. I can't promise it won't happen again, but I'm going to do my very best not to make the same mistake twice.
It happens. It happens.
At least I'm honest. I could have said, oh, it happened.
Right.
So, but let's take a quick look. Sorry, I slammed that down on the desk and made a lot of noise. Let's take a look. We still got Champagne Room in the lead. For anybody that's concerned, this is just what happens, man. I've run these tournaments before, these long ones, and I don't know if he watches here or not, but Balls of Slapping, who you'll see on the leaderboard, who now is in 4th place, 2 years in a row. I did this a few years back, ran 2 seasons of this, and he won both times. And I'll tell you, and that's why I changed the format up a bit. Remember, every week you play, your name goes in for a drawing, and you get the same prize minus the trophy, but you get the same $25 gift card that the guy that wins first place. So play. It doesn't matter if you're dead last every week. You're in for the chance.
Right.
And Bart and I are going to tear you up when it comes to the playoff. I mean, there's going to be some one ball, when it comes down to the end, I'm just kicking around the idea of when we get down to the tournament, it's going to be one ball, one play. And you could be that guy that doesn't drain. So, I want to make this where everybody's got a chance. So keep playing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Every week you play, that's another try. So if you play all 10 weeks, you got 10 names in the hat. If you only play 2 weeks, you only got 2 tries. So that's a good deal. Look at Chaos. He's already all over that Back to the Future from this week.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I got the cabinet set up out there. I'll go out and look at it in a minute. But just to let everybody know what the standings are, it's the Champagne Room, Wavy Creature. I'm going from top to bottom here. Champagne Room, Wavy Creature, Live Wire, Balls of Slapping, Mrs. Parker, who had just now see, there's a case where she would be considered in the running for the playoff at this point, and she came in last except 1 week. Let me look across the spreadsheet. She got 3 points. She came in second. She came in second.
Yeah.
So all that took for her to be in one, two. She's actually tied for 3rd place, I think, if I'm reading this right, or fourth place. She's tied with Balls of Slapping, who's one of our champions. So, or one of my champions from the past. So, I mean, there you go. That's another reason. But anyway, then Vastiline, who I know him, he's local in our area. He's right up to the top. Apple Blossom. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but Classic Rocking, then G Parker, then off grid now. Off grid, Mike CB, and Postile are all right there together, and I think everybody from Classic Rocking down is pretty much tied that's played every week because they've all just got 1 point for 6. They got 6 points, one for every week. And then you got a few people that just haven't been able to make it each week. But that's understandable. Some of you may not own all the tables, and, I don't expect you to buy them.
Kelly's getting freaked out because your closet door's open a crack. She's afraid you're going to get eaten by monsters.
Oh, the door behind you mean?
Behind you, your closet door.
Oh, my closet. Oh.
Yeah. Kelly said up here, she said, close the closet. It's freaking me out. And then she put a bunch of zombies. I don't know if she saw a zombie coming out of there, but
just until I get up to go check the other room, just keep an eye on that.
Staying. Yeah, we'll keep watching. If I had any skills, I would put one in there on, computer generate a zombie coming out.
Now I wish I had something rigged up in there to fall out. That would have freaked her out.
Oh, see, we mentioned the seaweed, and look who shows up.
There he is, the Gaming Road Warrior. Let's give it up for the Gaming Road Warrior, which, by the way, I want to say in the tournament, he is he's right in that pack. See, I'm telling you, we're going to have to figure out a way. I think it's going to boil down to, unless we get some bigger spread up here, I think we're going to have a playoff that's going to have a lot of brackets in it, because I don't see right now. I think everybody on this spreadsheet that's got 6 and up should be allowed to be in the bracketed playoff. At least get a shot in the kind of like the NFL does. We'll have the division, then we'll have this. We could make this 4 weeks long.
Right? Yeah. My arcade's asking if Mrs. Parker's a ringer. I don't know if a ringer is the right word for it, but she'll put a whooping on you if you play her and you don't give it your all. I've seen her play Greg, and he is giving it his all, and he still don't. Of course, I can't say anything. I just always look back to that day when we were at your place, and Greg puts a 4-player game on there, and it's me and Greg and Kelly and Cheryl are playing, all 4 of us. I'm pretty sure me and Greg were wrestling for third, because first and second were taken by the girls. So,
well, if you watch some of my videos on the channel, I've done some Greg versus Cheryl, or G. Parker versus Mrs. G. Parker, and admittedly, if it's a table she hadn't played before, I got an advantage. But I'll tell you, she has. There was one just recently that I put out. I forget which one it was. We're starting to do more of that. We just kind of love coming down and playing against each other, and it makes for great video. And we've been doing it on the Pinball FX.
Right.
She is really digging the Pinball FX.
Yeah. I forget which table you guys did the video on, and you guys were really close, but I think going into ball, you played first, and going into after your third ball, you were ahead by like 400,000. I know that the skill shot was 500,000, and I just said to Kelly when we were watching, I said, "Oh, if she gets the skill shot, she beat it," and she did. She got the skill shot. We're like, "Oh, she just beat Greg."
Yeah,
but fun stuff.
The problem is the poor thing. She's not used to that FX. I took your advice, got the back glass looking a little better, but she was clueless. Matter of fact, when she got done, I ran up to get by her on the screen to kind of stop her from saying bad language, because I just kind of whispered to her, "You won. You won. You better." She didn't even know she'd won, I don't think.
Right.
But to brag about Kelly, now let's since we're talking about the gals here, I have a Stranger Things real pinball machine, and there's a I forget what they call it, challenge mode you can set up on it. If you're playing a pinball machine astern in the wild, there's button presses you can do to set them to do that. And I've done that to some of them in the wild, and actually you can make it work and get your name on the board. Well, Kelly, I set it up for her, and Kelly got her name on our pinball machine down here, and it's still on there. And I've had friends over. I'm saying, "Hey," they say, "Who's this Kelly Huff?" I said, "Well, a friend of mine's that came up from Texas, and you care if we try to knock her off? I said, no, knock her name off there. Nobody's touched it. And that's been what, 4 months ago?
Yeah, it's been a little while now.
Yeah. So she's
reigning. She has that high school. She doesn't even have an electricity run to her house, and she still beat us at pinball. Yeah, that is a cool table, though. Yeah, Mike's saying he likes it. Kelly was saying she loves that table. That is a fun table. That Stranger Things.
And I did some neat updates to. I did some neat updates that when I put those black lights in there that go when you're changing that upside down, it lights up that play field. Cool machine.
Yeah, that's really neat. But speaking of cool machines, so we're into week 7, and we got most of the backdrop behind us is hidden by our pretty faces. But Back to the Future. That's this week's table, and that is a fun table as well. I really like that table. I haven't played yet though this week. You had to play one when you set up the tournament, right?
Yes. And I'll tell you what, I was so frustrated. Now, excuses. I'm making excuses, but I was so frustrated because I finally got it going, and I don't know if once I start playing, if other people can, or it has to wait till I'm done. That we'll have to check out someday. But I just wanted to get that game over with to make sure the tournament was live. So I didn't put a whole lot of effort into it. And I did know I'm in dead last place. So Chaos, if you want to get in right now and assure that you're not going to be in last place, you can jump in there now because I got a real low score.
Yeah.
Same for you, bro.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I shot that little promo video, and apparently on my table, I had only ever played in classic mode. I'd never played in the arcade. What do they call it when you can use your power-ups and stuff?
Yeah.
Regular single player. And I did that for the video. I just got into that mode, and all I did was record the video, and then I was wanting to get back in the house. And so I just launched the ball and let them drain because, you know, if you just stop in the middle and every time you come into FX3, it says, do you want to continue that game? So I'm like, no, I just wanted to finish. So I launched, let it drain. So now all of my Steam friends, if you look on your thing, that's the only game I ever played in that mode. So if you go in there and look at how low my score is, it looks like it's the worst score in history of the game. I got like 6,000 points. That's because it hit a sling once. It's like, when it came up, I'm like, oh, that looks great. But yeah, it is a fun table, though. I'm looking forward to getting into this. Mike's wanting to play it. He played the FX trial version on the PS5. Yeah, it is I like Back to the Future because you can go through all the different time periods from all the different movies. Mm-hmm. And it's not just 1985 and 1955. You got from the first movie 1985, from the second movie 1985. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Uh-oh. Chaos is in the middle of playing his game. He's got a good game going. We're talking about it. He's messing up now.
Don't let us mess you up, buddy. Chaos is a good guy. He's been loyal to us, showing up every week and playing. Great guy, great channel, fun times. So we enjoy Chaos. Good guy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I think it was Chaos again. I don't caution myself down. I don't want to mess him up, but I was talking with him one day, and he said and I enjoy it too. He likes hitting the little. You know how the little figures move around, and then the hoverboard multi-ball. That's a fun multi-ball.
Yeah, because you can get the ball onto the hoverboard and it comes across the screen, and you can knock it off. That's really neat. And then some of that stuff, that's the little stuff that's hard to do on a real physical table, and they can do it with the digital tables, so that's neat. But and then they have that part where all the the guys are going back and forth, all the Native Americans, I guess they were, and old Griff is up there, and you can hit him, or not Griff, it's Buford, right? Mad Dog Cannon. Yeah. It's so neat that each time period has different targets that are related to that movie. It's a really neat table.
I was going to look at something else here too. I wanted to find our original sheet that told us about what we were going to be playing next. Do you have that in front of you? If not, I will find it.
What's coming up next?
Yeah. Oh, why can I not find that document?
Let's see. I took a picture of it, so I have it screenshotted on my phone. I just got to find the screenshot.
I just found it. Here we go. So we've got, here's what I'm going to run this by you, Bart.
Okay.
We have got Back to the Future right now. The next week is Tesla, 3 balls, unlimited attempts. 19th is Wild West Rampage. And then March 26th, now I'm going to share the blame with Bart on this because we both proofread the thing, and we picked Castle Storm, 1 ball, 1 attempt for the last week. It has already been played.
Right.
So I was thinking, we got some loyal people that are here watching tonight. Do we want to put this up do we want to pick like 3 tables that we might use that we haven't used on Pinball FX and let everybody here just put a number down, 1, 2, or 3, which one they'd like to see played? Like that?
Yeah, we can do that.
The only thing is that you need a list of games. Do you have a list of games so we know what we have to stay away? We have to stay away from Star Wars tables. Oh, I got a list of games here. We have to stay away. We have to stay away from Marvel tables because they don't. I tried setting up a Star Wars tournament on the cabinet on Steam, and if you're playing with a Nintendo Switch, you cannot play in the tournament that's set up on Steam. That and Marvel. For some reason, so for some reason those are not classed for that form. But I do have a list of games here, Bart, so I can find it.
Champagne Room is in the house. He just popped in. Good to see you, buddy.
Champagne Room, welcome.
Yeah, while you're looking that up, Chaos put up here. He paused again. He was having the best multi-ball ever. He had like 5 or 6 balls going forever.
See, Champagne Room, I was going to say, if sometime, if you're doing pretty good in this tournament, if you want to get together with me sometime, send me a message on my channel there, leave a comment how we can get in touch with you. I'll talk to you, and maybe we can work out something where maybe Bart and I could have you on the show. You can talk to people about how you play. So, if you don't want to some of your secrets, let me get this straightened out. I was playing this on my, I forgot how I rotate the screen. Oh.
Yeah.
What button rotates your screen on the Switch? I forget. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, it's that button right there.
Yeah, it's got
one you push. That's the one.
Yeah. Oh my! You can tell we're just Here we go. I'm going to come up with a list of tables right now.
Chaos is sitting on 80 million.
80 million. Okay, I'm going to look at the single player. Here's some of the choices. Oh, see, it wants to know if I want to continue a game that I've already played.
See, that's why I drained that game out, and then I realized that was the only one on the high scoreboard. That's okay. That way I'll sucker people in. Champagne Room, he'll see on my Steam. On Steam, he'll see my score and think I'm really bad at it. So I'm going to try to get a side bet going that I can beat my previous score.
I'm with you. Okay. Bart, do you have any in mind that you want to would consider wanting to see part of this?
Well, we pretty much just went. You've been going with what, the Zen Originals and the Williams tables, right?
Right.
Yeah.
See, I think we'll have trouble. Again, we'll have trouble with Star Wars, and we'll have trouble with the Marvel because they don't cross platform.
Right.
So we do know the Williams work 100%.
Yeah, because I like that. We played. We did Monster Bash, but we didn't do Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Okay,
that's a good table.
Okay, I'm going to make a note of that. Bart picks one there. The two of us will decide the three to bet. So number one is going to be Creature from the Black Lagoon. Now I'm going to throw one out here. And I had one here that I just saw that I thought would be a blast. And now I lost it. I told you, everybody. It's been a day.
Are we able to send direct messages through Steam? I don't know if you're able to do that.
Through Steam?
Yeah. If you're friends on Steam, can you send each other messages?
I think so.
Because that would be a way. Champagne Room said he'd love to come on the stream. Because I think we're friends on Steam, right?
Champagne Room, you got a pen and a paper handy? Just type yes or no. You got a pen and a paper handy? Get a pen and a paper handy. When you're ready, just hit.
Yeah, he says you can send messages on Steam.
You got
and he says yes.
Write this down. 816-200-1298. That is a text-only number. You can text me. Your contact information will get together. 816-200-1298.
Yeah, it only worked for text because I already tried to order 47 pizzas and have them sent to Greg's house, but they wouldn't use that number.
It's one of those text-free numbers.
Nice.
Okay, I'm having trouble finding. I thought maybe I don't have all these tables. There was one that I just saw that I thought looked like it would be a blast the other day. And maybe I just don't have it on the Switch.
Well,
go ahead.
We can ask Champagne Room. Champagne Room, what is your worst table on FX3? I think that's what we should do. Because otherwise, he's just putting a whooping on us.
Well, I'm going to pick number two. I'm just going to pick, instead of holding everybody up, Earth Defense. So
okay.
number two is going to be Earth Defense. And then, Bart, unless you got something, I'm going to do a real quick search for one other table. That's why I couldn't find the one I want. It's a Williams, and I just want to stay away from doing a Williams table. I'm afraid I want to make sure this is fair for everybody. Now we do know that the Universal tables are working, right?
Yeah, just Back to the Future.
You got any problem with E.T.?
No.
Okay, there's the three choices, everybody. I'll try to keep track of the chat. You all get to vote. Put in a number one if you pick Creature of the Black Lagoon. Put in a number two, and just the only thing, put in a 2 in the chat, Earth Defense, and number 3 is E.T. I'll add them all up as best I can, and that'll be our table for week 10, which will be one ball, one attempt. So Creature of the Black Lagoon, Earth Defense, and E.T. And have at it. And
we got one vote for one. Oh, Mike voted for one also.
Okay, we got 2. I've got my sheet here. I'm going to keep track of. Oh, Gaming Road Warrior. Oh, that is Kelly. Okay, there's 2. Digital Graffiti Playhouse says 1, which is, he says Creature, that's 1. That's number 1. Digital Graffiti Playhouse, put number 1 in.
Champagne Room went with 1 too. See,
So
Creature's a good table. I think a lot of people like that. Lexi, she picked 1, and she don't. She's a pinball wizard. That girl. She's a maniac on the pinball. She's waiting to get in Poe's Atari pinball tournament, but that one hasn't gone live yet.
Now VKQ voted for number 4. So okay, Mr. Livewire did put in a vote for number 3, ET. So I'll be fair, put down 1 vote there. And in the meantime, watch this. I'm gonna get 1 more vote over here. Kelly, you might pay attention here.
Uh-oh.
Hang on. Oh, did you want 1, 2, or 3? You want 1? Okay, he wants 1. Okay, he wants 1. And I went ahead and closed the door so it wouldn't bother Kelly anymore.
The closet monster picks the creature. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Well, I'm going to leave this open for a few more minutes, but I don't know. I think we've got, yeah, Kelly like that. Okay. Well, let's, I'll tell you what. Can you take the comm for a minute, and I'm going to go in the other room and read you the scores from where we're at so far. And it looks like Champagne Room put second choice would have been ET.
Second choice would have been ET. Yeah, I think that would be my second choice as well.
Well, I'll tell you what. Honestly, it looks like Creature from the Black Lagoon, unless a bunch of stuff changes, which I'm going to let you keep an eye out, Bart. But if you'll transfer me over to the other room, I'll go over those scores with you. Hopefully you can hear me in there.
All right. We will switch you over. And let me see. And you guys know the drill. While Greg is walking, now we can talk about him because he can't hear us.
Can you see me?
Almost. I got to change. There we go. And then get rid of my ugly head.
Well, if you can hear me, I'm going to read these list off. This is where we're at now for Back to the Future. Livewire, 713. First place, 147,835,000. Classic Rocky, number 2, 113,580. No, 113,585,000. GTH 2370, 110,222,000. Balls is slapping, 77,485,000. Derek 642, 59,212. Mrs. OGA 26,497,000, and along with myself at 13,465,216. Now, what I'm not sure about is I noticed I didn't see Chaos in there. Okay, these changed. I reset it. Chaos has got 80,069,215. He did move up into 6th place. So congratulations, Chaos. Great scores. I'll be back to the room, Bart. Come on back.
All right. Whoops, wrong setting. Oh, here he comes.
Did he talk bad about me while I was gone?
Yeah, I don't know what happens though when you go out there, Greg. Your audio gets kind of wonky.
Well, I can't help but to wonder if it's not the fact that you got to remember now I'm running 2 computers streaming through the same connection.
Right. Yeah, and out there you got 2 screens and your camera. But
and then I'm trying to push that all through StreamYard, and I got to admit there is no microphone out there. It's just the camera's mic. You know,
right.
the little crappy camera, the $29 Micro Center camera that's on them. Every one of my pinball, my V pins, I put a camera on. And
Right.
the newer machine has a mic hooked up to it. That one, I can't figure it out. I'm just not geeky enough, I guess. I can't figure out why I've hooked my mic up to it, and it says cannot find the driver. Cannot find the driver. And I've rebooted, deleted stuff, added stuff back on, did resets on it. Can't find the driver, so I just gave up.
Yeah. Hey, I want to say really quick, Chaos is saying he's going to try to get my score on Skyrim. For anyone that's in the chat here, Chaos did start a couple of tournaments. They're open to the public. They're just wide open. So look for Arcade Chaos on FX3 and join into those, and you'll see my scores on there. Greg, you played, right? And Mr. Postile and Mike Seavey, and we all jumped in with Chaoses. And like, it's not part of our tournament, the 10-week thing. It's just an open to the public, no password needed. So if you want to play, he did Skyrim and what's the other one?
Fallout.
Fallout. Yeah, Fallout, Skyrim. So
I've got them both. I've got them both up here right now. I don't know. It's Arcade Chaos. You can't see it on here, but me holding up the camera. But it looks like in Fallout there are. Let me see how many people's he got. Oh, there's 13 people in Fallout, and there are. There's 10 people in Skyrim. And you want to know the truth? I kind of get a kick. I'm actually in 4th place on Skyrim.
Where am I at on that one?
And let's see. Okay, Skyrim. Somehow I lost it. I told you I'm having a. Oh! You know where you're at.
No, I don't know. Where am I at?
First place. You're in first.
Huh?
You're in first.
Oh.
First place.
What was that again? One more time?
First place.
Because this isn't part of the big tournament that we're doing, so I can win that one.
91,291,285. You know, I'd have to make some changes here. I can stream this Switch to. It's a shame I didn't do that. You know, next week I'll hook up the Switch so I can stream it on our live broadcast too. And I don't have it. I don't have the right software running right now to do that. But that would be fun because Chaos, if you have a tournament going next week, we can show some of it on the Switch too. So that'd be fun.
Yeah. That's Champagne Room said he likes playing the tournaments because it feels like he's playing against people at the bar or something, which always brings me into, that's true. And it's a lot of fun doing these tournaments. But boy, I just can't get over the Zaccaria tables and the way you're able to play multiplayer. I don't know, Champagne Room, if you have those Zaccaria tables, but Greg and I have played some games, and when you play multiplayer online with there, it really is like you're playing against people because you watch the other person play on your table. It's pretty awesome. You take turns, and it's like you're standing right in the same room. But it's like playing hot seat on FX3 or FX, but you're in different states. Man, I need to take a drink.
No, you're good. I'm checking out some scores on some other tournaments here. But no, what you're talking about is I lost my train of thought. Go ahead, Bart. Look like an idiot.
No, I just wanted to throw that out there. The Zaccaria, man, it would be so awesome if Zen would add that to the FX line to where you can play that hot seat together. It's just really cool. And of course, Greg and I, we did it on StreamYard. The one time we recorded a show, and one time we just called each other on the phone and put on speakerphone. So we were talking while we were playing and giving each other a hard time and rooting against each other and just having a blast. And it's almost like you're in the same room when you're, 1,000 miles apart. But
with your permission, Bart, or with your joint cooperative effort here, I'm just, before I forget, I am on our sheet, the official sheet, and March 26th, I am crossing out Castle Storm and putting in Creature, Creature of the Black Lagoon.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a fun table. That is a fun table.
Yeah, that'll be a fun table and I'll hit save, and we are good for Creature of the Black Lagoon for the last week. I'm happy with that. I like that.
And we decided what we're going to do. One ball left flipper only.
Yeah.
So
who was it I was talking to about that how fun that would be is if you could set it up. You know, like the tournaments, you can set up one ball, you can set up a lot of different rules here.
Right.
If you could set it up where there would be only one flipper work. What is that one Marvel game? Is it Spider-Man, isn't it? That sometimes the flippers, you go in a mode where the flippers are reversed. Left flipper, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then I've seen people that'll do those things where you have to switch arms, but that's the honor system if you're doing it the way we do it. But if you're at an actual physical table, or if you're in the same room, then people play hitting the flipper buttons with your opposite hands. But I think it is the Spider-Man game. But
yeah,
that is such a good idea, that Zaccaria, the way they do that multiplayer, it is just brilliant. And I think I was reading on Reddit, did they used to do that on like Pinball FX 2 or Pinball FX the original? Someone was saying on Reddit, I think they used to have that feature. But I don't know.
An online hot seat.
Yeah, I didn't get involved with the FX line until FX3 was out, and I do have FX2 on the Quest for VR, which is a blast. I've been revisiting some of those tables on there because I forgot how fun it is to play pinball in VR. But
it is.
But I wish you could get in on those in the tournaments. But
well, see, that's the thing. They all have their own niche. The Zaccaria, or however you pronounce it, it has that feature, but it really doesn't have a good feature for playing tournaments. And Zen's leading the way on these tournaments, and I'm going to be real curious to see how. There's Derek. Hello, Derek.
Yeah, Derek's in the house.
I'm gonna be real curious to see how this thing all shakes out with FX, because I will say this, I've been extra critical of them, but they've changed something. The only thing I wish they'd have done is I wish they'd have thought it all through before they started shooting off their mouths. But they have come through with correcting some mistakes. I don't know why they didn't go with the old. I got this old philosophy: predictable, preventable. If you predict a problem's going to happen, why don't you prevent it? Why did you promise cross-platforming? And I'm gonna vent here for a minute. One thing I get tired of people saying is on Reddit. There's a lot of people are saying, if these people hadn't got mad at the ticket thing, we could have had the cross-platform. And they're saying that the cross-platform is because people wanted to pay cash. Excuse my French, just one time I'll say bullshit. You know what? Cash tickets, what difference does it make? If you wanted a cross-platform, why would you sell tickets and collect them? Don't scold me and say I was upset about the tickets and cash is what caused you to lose the cross-platform. They could cross-platform if you wanted to play with Monopoly money. They don't.
Right. Yeah, I think they just, I don't know. Either they couldn't make it working with PlayStation, Sony, and Microsoft to get the Xbox and PlayStation to do it, or they didn't really want to do it to begin with, and they were like, "Hey, here's a way out. We'll blame the tickets."
So I just don't buy that story because what currency's currency. I mean, they're in a European country. I mean, they're not even taking U.S. money. So to me, it doesn't matter if you're expecting. I mean, I could say my little G Parker things I 3D printed are worth $1, and so what?
Yeah. The only thing what I liked about the tickets, and Derek's bringing up, the tickets always had the extras left over.
Yeah.
But man, if you had patience and when you could buy individual games, I didn't buy a bunch of tables for quite a while, and then I bought 6 at one time, and the discount stacked. So you bought the one table, it was this many tickets, and you bought the next one, and then by the time you got to the 5th and 6th one, it was like a 40%, 50% discount.
Yeah.
So it worked out pretty good, and if they were releasing tables and you had the patience to wait and buy them, make your own packet together, you could save some money that way. Right. But yeah, because I think someone said if you would have just bought the tickets to buy all of them at once with all those discounts you got, you could get it for like $160 or $170 for all of the tables. Whereas if you bought them now with the pricing and packets they got, it's like $280 to get all of the tables.
Right.
But
that's another person, and it may not be popular. Whoops. Oh, I was looking at the wrong screen. I looked at the other screen, and I saw you were talking because it's delayed.
Well.
That's another thing, though, that I don't understand. If you buy something, I get it that people say, I bought this table on Pinball FX3, now I got to buy it on Pinball FX. But you don't have to buy it on Pinball FX. Pinball FX3 is not going away because people who griped about that with Pinball FX2, I didn't have it. And you can't get it if you didn't have it. But I'm under the understanding that people that had Pinball FX2 on Steam still have Pinball FX2. They can still play those tables.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, this is going to be a terrible analogy probably, but, if I go out and buy a car and they come up with an upgraded car, you got to buy a whole new car.
Right.
So
right.
I get it. If you want the new Pinball FX, you want the better stuff that comes with it that I believe is on the horizon. But, they're just not going to give away those tables on a new format. You're buying a new format. No different than if you buy I'm not big into the console, so I'd have to have a Gaming Road Warrior or Postal in here. But, I mean, come on, if you buy a PlayStation 4, maybe some of it's cross-compatible, but a lot of that stuff you can't bring to your 5 and your 6 or 7 or 8. I mean, eventually there's going to be a cutoff. Am I right on that, Bart, or am I wrong?
Yeah. And the newer games that they'll make for the PlayStation 5, you can't, some of them can, but a lot of them you can't play on your older systems because they can't handle it, the updated system. So, yeah, there's always some of that. And, yeah, and I think there's a lot of people that do basically what you and I are doing, and we just buy the stuff you can't get on FX3. And, if they get a really good deal on, if they put the monster tables, the Monster Bash and Creature from the Black Lagoon, I think they're $6.99 on FX for the pack. They come on sale for $3.99 or something. I'll probably pick them up, even though I have them on FX3 because they're cheap enough. But for now, I just boot into the one I want. So,
yeah, I've got 2 machines in there, so I'm fortunate. I got one that's just dedicated to Pinball FX with Pinball Emporium and Pinball FX3, which plays well with Pinball Emporium, so I've got that. And now I've got the other one set up to where it boots straight into Pinball FX. So I just pick my machine,
Right.
Now, that brings me into a new topic real quick if we got time for it, and that is I want to ask you, were you one of the people in our little chat that talked about the possibility of a release of a Nintendo Switch 2? Is there who was that talking?
Yeah, I think that was Poe. I'm not sure. It was either Poe or Mike. If Mike's still in the chat, he'll remember. I think it was Poe, though, that brought up the Switch 2. I can't remember. Was he saying later this year or early next year?
Yeah, I thought, and that kind of contradicted. Yeah, Mike saying it was Poe. It kind of counted. Now, of course, anything's possible, but I know that I was reading an article lately that said that the Nintendo Switch has met its normal time frame for Nintendo to come up with a new product. You know, it's met its own. But, however, due to the fact that it is still rising in sales, that this person's opinion was that it would not be replaced anytime soon. That being said, even though, you know, like you had the Wii, I believe, and then the Switch, I would think that a Nintendo Switch 2, maybe it's just going to be a little more graphic driven and run harder stuff, but I'd imagine that it would be, hopefully it'd be, you know, backward compatible with all your games that you bought for the Nintendo Switch, which is what I'd hope for. But if not, it's fine too. I like buying physical copies too of games whenever I can on the Switch, because I just worry that, you know, Switch will make them available to take them off your machine, put them back on. But there is a small disclaimer in there that says that if they ever quit selling that and you take it off your machine, you won't be able to get it again. So I try to buy physical copies when I can, but it's not always the case.
Probably can't read that. Nintendo Switch 2, rumors and everything we know so far on tomsguide.com. Yeah, Kelly's on the spot. She just sent that to me. Nintendo Switch 2 could arrive this year, but I guess it's still rumors. But yeah, like you said, it's nearly 6 years old, and they're just saying it's likely that they're working on it too. But yeah, I don't know. Who knows? We'll see when we see, I guess.
Well, Gaming Road Warrior says he just bought the OLED and he didn't want to buy a new Switch, and I'm kind of with you there. Of course, I'm glad to hear that if they're going to replace it, it's going to be kind of the same format, maybe again to be backward compatible. And everybody knows that I've not been a big console guy. I've been more of a retro arcade pinball guy. But I do got to admit, you know, I know the PlayStations are fantastic, the Xboxes, but to me, the Nintendo Switch, and I'm not getting any compensation from Nintendo, but I will say, to me, it's just the most versatile little thing I've ever come up with. Was just some kick butt, you know, abilities to do on it. So
yeah. I'm not a huge console guy anymore either, but I do like that Switch. What I don't understand are the people that buy those arcade one-up machines and fill their arcade rooms up with those. Most of those guys are, whoops.
Look over his shoulder.
Yeah, Kelly loves her Switch. She plays on that Switch all the time. I think it's a great little platform. And, you know, the portability, and then if you want to, you put it in that docking deal and throw it up on your big screen and play it like a regular console. But yeah, I don't know. Mike Seeby, he's just jealous. I got this Star Wars here. That's what Mike Seeby's looking at. Mike's not even watching me. He's just watching the scroll go by. I guess Derek's working on a Discord server. That's pretty cool.
Well, keep us informed.
I get on Discord for a few of the Quest games that I play. I'll follow the Discord servers on there. It's pretty neat stuff.
Discord's got some cool stuff. There's all kinds of. That's one thing about this gaming stuff. There's all kinds of cool stuff going on.
Kelly's just throwing out a random cornhole. I don't know what that's all about. Hopefully, I'm not finding out later.
Well, she's talking about VR. I will tell you one thing. We've talked, and we'll have to dedicate a whole show to some time to that. But let's see. Used to be a console guy mainly. Looking to see what Derek put down there. A lot more retro gaming, PC. Yeah, I know. That's kind of. I mean, I started this whole thing on a Raspberry Pi, and built my own arcade cabinet, and then it's over at the Unknown Gamer's house now. I sent it over to his house. I'm running out of room. But hey, Champagne Room, don't forget to get in touch with me. I'd look to make sure that number's right, and if not, you can catch us next week, and I'll give it to you again. But I'm gonna ask you, Bart, unless you got any other topics, two things. I'm gonna go into final thoughts, if that's okay with you, because we've been on about an hour. And I was going to ask Gaming Road Warrior I'm going to talk in code here. In that correspondence just before we went live that I put out, there's a link. When Bart and I go off here, you might want to click that link and maybe we'll stick around in the studio for a little bit. So if you want to stop by for a private consult, we will be in the private consult room. If that's okay with you, Bart, if you got a few minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutly.
At least I'll stick around. So
I don't mind talking to Mike as long as it's only once a week. You know, there is such a thing as too much seaweed, but
I try to go. Well, no, I guess it's Poe. I try to once a month, but
yeah, Poe's a whole different story. But yeah, and same with Chaos. Chaos, if you're still around, you can jump in there. We won't be live. He might want to talk to us when we're not live.
Yeah. So Chaos, if you've got the link, I sent it in that chat group. And if you need it again, I can send it again. But anyway, with that being said, Bart, final thoughts. I don't want to cut it short if you got something else, but take as much time as you need, whatever you want to get off your chest.
No, just the normal stuff. I'm having a blast with this tournament. It's great to see. You know, we got a pretty good turnout going out every week. And this Back to the Future table is such a fun table. I'm looking forward to seeing the scores. I haven't gotten a chance to play yet myself because we worked today, and then I had to play some VR golf with my boys this evening, which leads me right into this show. So I'm going to play some Back to the Future tomorrow, start getting my score on that board, see if I can get up there with the big guys. But, yeah, it's a fun time. We just got a few more weeks before the playoffs starts. Exciting times coming. That's all I got.
Okay, well, it looks like tonight we settled a couple things. We got Creature with the Black Lagoon added as our last week. We've got we're in week 7. So we've got 7, 8, 9, and 10. We've got 4 weeks left. Please do not get dismayed with the scores on the finale because things can change. And we're going to make it tough. And remember, everybody gets their name every week they play. They get their name put in for a drawing. So it's all for fun anyway, bragging rights and hanging around with each other and coming on here and talking smack. And especially if it's directed at you just sent me a text. Okay, I'll check that and make sure. Well, let me do that real quick and make sure I got it. And got it. So I do have your contact information out. It probably won't be tonight, but I will get a hold of you soon, sir. So I'll text you back because it's getting late and I'm going to visit with these guys a little bit, but I will get with you soon and we'll see what we can work out. With that being said, thanks everybody for showing up. Bart and I really appreciate the chat and the people coming on. Try to keep it to an hour because we just don't want people watching the playback. I don't want Poe falling asleep on his way home from work. So with that being said, Bart, let's see. What's that old line? Say goodnight, Bart.
Good night, Bart. Good night.
See y'all next week. See y'all next week. Remember, the tournament runs through Friday, and we'll be on next Sunday at 10 p.m. Central. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye now.
Bye.